Hey, we're live.
Yeah, so get on your phone and try to share it, and we'll see. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We were trying to get this set up, and hey, Ben. Hopefully we...
Okay, that's enough. Thank you. I love your kisses, but that's enough. Where are my groups? I need my groups.
We are sharing, so we ask you to share as well.
Yeah, any groups that you're in that we're not?
So let everybody know, because there is great information for the pagan community that will be shared during this. I'm trying to...
In all the same groups that you're in.
Pretty much.
Why am I in solitary Wiccans? I'm not Wiccan. What the heck?
You're not Wiccan.
I'm not Wiccan, but I do.
How is everything sounding to you guys? Are we okay? Is
there interference? Is the music on my TV too loud? Can't see me, sorry. I'll get closer to you. Don't worry.
You'll get close to TV. I know. Oh.
Geez, Zoe.
So Zoe is like my little buddy, and she's here beside of me.
Yeah, she's like.
And if you can see her, not, yeah, like right here. There's my baby.
She is like,
it's my bed.
Mashed herself in the smallest corner she can. 60.
She's my best friend.
60-pound dog, man. I think she's 3 pounds. Yeah, I don't.
You're the size of a chihuahua, aren't you, Zoe?
Bo got a little tiny Yorkie ran up onto him, and he was just like, "Oh, hi." I was like, I'm glad this wasn't a big dog.
Hello, Jenny. Hello,
hey,
Miss Brenda. Thank you for joining us. Okay.
Pardon my hacking. I have lung juice.
Thank you for sharing in the Pagan Credit Union, Beth. I appreciate it. You got that taken care of for us. Okay, so are we good?
Yeah, we're good, because I'm not, there's no groups that I'm not in that, you know.
Okay.
I'm just going to join the thing so we can do the thing.
In her heart, they're all lap dogs. Yes, that's right. Okay.
So what's up?
Well, welcome to February's Witches and Wine, and I'm going to say this, don't smack me. Welcome to Mercury retrograde.
It's been kicking my butt.
So, as most of you know, I'm just going to come out with it. Most of you know my grandparents have passed within the last month. We haven't even made it a full month yet. This is my first... my gathering on Saturday was my first time back out in the pagan community. And yes, I really needed community. Everybody left me alone. I mean, I did have a few people showing support, but not really as much as, you know, I guess we kind of thought. Hey, Jack. Hey, Rosie. So, but I do appreciate everything that everybody done, said, likes, posts, private messages, everything. Thank you very much. It's tough, and I'm a little lost, and I don't know where to start. But Witches and Wine Pagan Community. It's what brings me together, makes me feel good. So here we are.
Found it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
So thank you all for being here, and thanks for a part of.
That says, hence the buffering Mercury retrograde. Hey, Amy. She's one of my friends.
Where's Angel?
It just says that she's watching.
Okay.
She hasn't said hello.
It really truly did.
I had to work, so I couldn't be there. Sorry.
Yes. Hello, Miss Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
Love you.
Valerie and I are like twins. She's in crackers. Every time she posts something, I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Like.
So we're gonna like jump right in here and go. We are gonna talk about Ostara a little bit later, but we're gonna do announcements and then get into our guest for this event. Today I put it out there that we were still accepting nominations for the Pagan Honors. Last year our recipients was Mark, Sadie, and Mel. Those that did such wonderful things for the community for 10 years until it was handed over to me, and then I had to move it to the center so everybody could be involved in it. But they definitely earned theirs. So far we've had a few nominations. I have been nominated, and I want to put it out there right now. I greatly appreciate it. However, I am Pagan Pride host, and I feel that I should not be put up for nomination for this. I've only had Pagan Pride once. Yes, I've had gatherings and stuff like that, but I don't feel like I've done enough or whatever. But as hostess, I should not be nominated for the award, because it sounds kind of stupid for me to walk in and say, "Hey, put a plaque with my name on it." Right. That's just wrong. I don't like that. It's
She's giving you.
My
dog is like.
So right now, our two nominees that we have, and I did get a message after the fact. Hello, Miss Anne Marie. Asen Knight, who many of you know. He is everywhere. He is
High priestess or high priestess. God,
how can I even pull it into short words of who Asen is?
What did he say? I took his Wicca 101. What is? He's like, Lord Asen, the high priest of such and such and such and such and such and such, master blah blah blah. Like his title goes on like this long.
But master astrologer, psychic, reading. To Morgantown at Mo Shop in Star City.
Yeah, they were doing something last week. Pendulum?
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove by and everybody was outside taking a break. I was like, I want to go to that. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Beltane in the Forest, which he has announced that they are taking a break from that this year because they are still looking for they're still looking for locations for that. So if anybody can figure out a location within his criteria, message him. He'll be happy to give you what the criteria list is for Beltane Forest. The other nominee is, of course, Mo from Earth Magic. And you look at all of the events and stuff that she holds there. She's taught people in our community. She's been there. She opened up the shop. It really brought a lot of people out into that were, really, really able to pull the community together, have a place for people to come to. So it's really nice. Those two are our nominees for this year as of right now. We're really
Hello,
excited
Kasha.
about that. Okay, so yippee hello.
Yippee hello.
Well, she said yippee hello loves. Okay.
Tarnation.
Yeah. So, and then is it March 7th is the Metaphysical Fair down at the Heyman House in Sutton, and Chris Delaney is going to be there doing readings. Donica Shaw is going to be there doing palm readings and
Is she the
something
one that
else.
they mentioned on Feather and Bone? No.
I'm not sure. I'm not caught up with the girls. And then the Feather and Bone girls, Rain and Raven, as always, have your option. Colin is it's a chili cook-off, and I think that's in April. So we got that coming up. What else?
Not a ton of stuff going on right now in the spring. Spring hasn't kicked off yet, so everybody's still kind of sleeping.
And if you're curious about things that are happening and going on, please, for the love of the gods, go check out West Virginia Pagan Calendar. That is, yes, I started it, but it is a pagan community service group, which means that anybody at any point in time can go in there and see a list of what is happening. There's anything from tarot classes to Reiki.
There's gatherings.
Gatherings are in there. I've put walks, like trail walks, bird viewing, anything with
art
nature.
Classes. 21 Terra practice, metaphysical circle meeting, the chili cook-off.
When is the chili cook-off?
The chili cook-off is Saturday, March 28th at 12:30 in St. Albans.
Yeah.
Don't forget Rowan Temple of Light for that really kick-ass tea set / coffee set.
Mm-hmm. And I have not got around to it yet, but I am getting together. I've purchased some herbs and a tea herbs, and I've got a tea ball, and we are going to add that with it, so it will be the coffee / tea set. That way, get you started and everything. Okay, so those tickets are $5 a piece or $20 for 6 tickets, and I wanted to stop that March 1st, but I think I might continue that on until April 1st. So, just to give it a little bit extra time. The voting is only doing 2 nominees for the Pagan Honors, and voting will be done between, what did I say, Beltane and Talitha. I think that's a good time frame. Okay, so where are you? What are you doing?
I was going to let you. I can't look at the calendar and be on the chat at the same time.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and do that and talk about stuff like that. And I'm going to go and get things ready for our people, for our special guest.
Yeah, we have to.
It will be. You might have to turn your volume up because they'll be listening. And yes, pay no mind to my cell phone. The screen is extremely correct.
Oh, Bev's like, are you live now? That's what I mean. I don't know. It says that it's been disconnected or is not responding. We're having technical difficulties with this thing. Yell at me if you can still hear me. Because right now it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing.
On the one that we were on before.
That's the wrong one. Give me a second. Don't know why I can't find it. Okay, let me see if I can invite some people because it's being silly. I don't know how to use this. Hey, Lindsay. It's cutting in and out, buffering. We had to use Chrome instead of Google, so it is acting up.
I'm gonna head back in.
Okay. All right, here comes Gwen.
What?
Lindsay said she wanted
Yes, it is
something.
buffering.
Okay, Ben and Bev both went in, but they can't find it, and I can't find it either. All I can see is the
Okay,
testing.
well, they need to go to Rowan Temple of Light and log in and get on there. Okay, let me see here.
It's not the online community,
It's the actual page.
No, it's the online community.
No, it's not in the online community, is it?
No.
It was.
No, that's the
I don't know.
testing.
It was during the testing, but no, we went to the page that we always
Sorry,
do.
guys. We don't know
Okay.
what we're doing.
Okay.
Well, we've already mentioned Mercury retrograde, so we have justifiable excuses.
That's definitely for the buffering. I'm gonna blame the buffering on Mercury. Okay.
There, I know.
Okay. All right. For everybody that is with us line and joining us tonight is Beth. Most of you know her. She is a wonderful member of our pagan community here, Blackberry Botanicals. She's done herb classes at Pagan Pride. She set up and she taught, sold stuff. Last year at Pagan Pride, she ran her booth and she ran the kitchen. This woman is phenomenal. She does everything and is everywhere. So I'm just bragging on her a little bit because I love her. So, and also on the line now, Beth, would you like to introduce him since you know more about him than I do?
Sure. We also have Lawrence Lerner with us, and he's joining us from way out on the other side in Seattle area.
Hello, Lawrence.
Hello, Lawrence. Thank you for joining
Hello,
us.
Mary Mead.
You're in my
And
sister's
he
neck of the woods.
is also with me on the organizational board for the proposed Pagan Credit Union. We are in the process of establishing the federal pagan about it here as we get into this. And that's our plan, is we're trying to get a credit union so that groups like Rowan Temple of Light can have an actual credit union account, and then they can operate and know that when you go to call your bank, like Gwen, we know that
Yes. For those of you who
call
were
your credit union, you're talking to someone who's also a pagan. So you don't have that hurdle to clear if your covenstead is looking for funding, or if they just need to open a deposit account, or they're trying to raise money for a charity, or anything along the lines of things that we all do.
So,
that you're dealing with people who are like-minded.
Second, I want to see everybody give us a like if you can hear her clearly. You can hear her well enough. You might have to turn the TV down. That's why I wanted to turn it down. And
Yeah, it's going to get harder and harder as I go along.
all right, we got loves and stuff like that. So okay,
Bev is messaging me, and she's like, I don't know how to get on here.
Okay, so I'm taking that as a positive sign that that we are good and everybody can hear you well. Thank you very much. Okay, continue. Go ahead.
So maybe, okay, Lawrence, did you want to go ahead and
Sure, I was
introduce
going to
yourself?
say, what background does everybody have, or are we starting fresh?
I think that I'm the only one that, other than Beth, that really knows that it's happening. I don't know if anybody in our community is really aware of. So we're ready to be enlightened over in this area.
Fantastic. Well, maybe we can start with just a little bit of the background of what a credit union is, because lots of people are familiar with banks, but maybe not so much credit unions. This has been a project that started over a year ago, and we've been pretty methodical about how we've gathered support in making sure you have to define what's called a field of membership. And that field of membership is, who are all the people who make up the credit union, because they own the credit union. Whereas banks can be owned for stock, a credit union is owned by all of the members. And if all of the members are pagans, then those pagans are going to vote for the board. The board then hires a management team, and those are the people who are going to run the credit union. After that, they're a lot like banks in that you can take deposit accounts, checking accounts, savings accounts, have retirement, have things for setting up loans. But the difference is the loan is for a loan.
Buying a giant piece of land and living off the land.
To buy a piece of land, to get a car loan.
I just said that. I just said that. We keep talking about buying this giant $1 million piece of land and living, as a community off the land, and then you just said it immediately after me.
Yeah.
You read my mind.
That's one of the things that could happen. That loan is between all of the members of the credit union who've put money in, and the credit union facilitates that and that person. And what it allows the credit union to do is charge lower rates than banks and make different terms. It's still a business. It's got to make money. It's got to run with all of the same laws as you would as a bank and be federally insured. Each deposit account is insured for up to $250,000. But that big difference is the fact that it's all of the members making the decisions, and there are lots of credit unions all over the country, but this would be the first one dedicated specifically for pagans. Let me pause there, see if you all.
Yes, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to comment them, and we can ask them as we go along. So how far into all of this have you all gotten? Like when did you start?
So as I said, we started about a year ago, and what we did was couple of things. We wanted to make sure that this was something the community wanted versus something we found from doing surveys and traveling around the country and talking to people is that everybody was interested in financial literacy, knowing how to better manage their money, knowing that once they had their accounts set up, they could pay their bills, whether electronically or with a check, though checks seem to be going out of circulation more and more. And so we gathered all that information, and the NCUA, which Association has set down certain rules and said, you know, you need to have enough supporters to know that this is viable, because nobody wants to start a business that's for 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
And what we've done is we've gathered support from large pagan groups all over, including Church of All Worlds and the Correllian Nativist tradition and Tree of Life Sanctuary, Interfaith Sanctuary here in Washington. So our total is more than 118,000 potential members. No one is making a commitment. Yeah, we're not collecting any money at this point. But what we've done is we've gotten that level of support, and then things come back and say, hey, guess what? You know, the world pouring out from us are two things. One is, do we have enough leadership who have banking and financial services experience? And Jay, for folks that have that experience to join the steering committee, and they're looking for operating capital for the business to get it up and running for the first couple of years, and they are looking for a pretty big number of around $1 million.
Wow.
Now that $1 million can be, some of it can be in kind, it could be space, it can be software for getting things running. I think I hear someone in the background. I didn't know if they had a question.
That might be Beth on Beth's end. Beth.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I had to step out of the house. I have a very small house, and my husband is on a conference call as well tonight.
Oh, goodness.
No worries.
Is it, I mean, not to change the subject on you, Lawrence, is it a water situation?
Oh, on the conference call, yes.
Okay. We can talk about that later. But anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So
right now, go ahead.
My question was, if everybody that is a potential that has interest in it right now, if everybody would donate like $1 or even $5,
we'd have a couple $1,000s if everybody donated $1.
Yeah, but that's a lot of people. Like, just
Well, we would then go to NCUA and send them all of the and if people just looking for a letter that says, hey, you have this much money. So getting donations from, let's say, 100,000 people who said, I'll put in tricky. So, that's where they might, sort of look at it and say, large donors who would be interested in this. My background is building companies in tech and digital payments. So I'm going to start talking to some of those folks and see if they're interested in building a next generation financial services company.
So this would be completely online with an app. You'd contact and talk to somebody and set it up that way. We did have one comment, and it was, I just don't want it to have a stereotypical pagan name. It needs to be called, it needs to be respectable. I wouldn't want it to be called Pan's Magical Pot of Gold Credit Union or Tree Goddess Credit Union.
Pan's Magical Pot of Gold.
The NCUA mandates that all credit unions be called. So we would be the Pagan Federal Credit Union.
And that's the name of the
that's
the name of the group that you have right now.
That's correct.
So for anybody that is looking, for information after this. The group right now they have is called the Proposed Pagan Credit Union, and proposed is in parentheses, so you can find that group. Taking place.
Put on my child eating this bag of Doritos and being like, crunch, 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 crunch.
So, yeah. Sorry.
I don't think Doritos have an issue with buffering, but it is possible.
Too much sound interference.
Is there anything that, I mean, since nobody's really, commented anything, how long before?
What is our ask right now?
Yes. What should we know? What should we be thinking about? What should we be talking about?
Well, it's similar to what Lauren said. We're going together. The donation letter, once you sign that, is basically, it's going to be somewhat contract language. If you say that you can donate X number of dollars, I promise you we'll be coming back and looking for that X number of dollars. So it needs to be a reasonable amount that you can sustainably manage without harming your own personal finances.
Now, would that be like a pledge monthly or a pledge for startup?
Pledge for startup. What it has to be is a one-time donation.
Okay.
And again, that's something that, it might be very difficult to ask potential members to do that because there's no return. It is completely charitable to get it started up, which is why we'd be looking for institutions and grants to do that. But if people wanted to, I certainly wouldn't. I don't think we'd say no, but we'd then need to gather, a significant amount of those funds and be ready.
Do we have any brochures or literature or anything that we can put out at our Pagan Pride event this year?
Oh yes, we have stuff. We have flyers. We have information. We're hoping to have a PowerPoint ready.
Okay. Okay, great.
And I bet I know why it's lagging so bad now. Matt's gone on his video game downstairs. And he probably isn't just, it's not just a video game. He's probably also streaming something else while he likes to while he plays video games. I don't know how he does that.
We apologize for the lagging. There's not really anything we can do about it. We can blame a man. Sorry, Lawrence. Okay.
No worries.
Well,
oh, wow. She said she just heard about us trying to get into the live feed. That's how behind it is.
Oh gosh.
It's
well, she joined us late. Okay. Well, we will. It is.
I have high hopes for this credit union.
This is.
The biggest challenge we're facing right now is this same thing. I have spoken face-to-face to several people within the West Virginia community, but I don't know everybody. So really, we're looking at and asking, not just as, we're not talking about the support for the financial part of it. What I'm saying is I need folks to talk to people about this. If you think this is a good idea, if you think having a pagan-owned and operated credit union is something you want to be on board with, tell people about it.
Get the word out.
Word of mouth moves faster than anything else.
Especially in the pagan community.
Yeah, she's incredible. Weren't we just talking about that yesterday?
That's right.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Keep the word of mouth. Keep the momentum going, people. this will erupt a wildfire of conversation. This is something that is good for us as a community. It's something that we need to share information on. We need to make this happen.
Anytime someone shares one of those, bro, I'm ready to go and live out in the wild wilderness, I'm just going to be like, have you heard about the Pagan Credit Union? Have you learned about our Lord and Savior, the Pagan
Because,
Credit Union?
that would be something that, as a credit union, I would assume, that dream of starting a group out in the woods is such a common dream.
Yes.
Such a group think.
Rowan Temple of Light was that eventually we could buy a parcel of land and have one main building for like little houses.
Like church,
we farm the land, have the animals, and just if somebody is, and I had to add this in there, if somebody is down on their luck, or if they just want to come and learn, then this is the place that you come and do it. And this has been my driving force for probably 10 years, so.
Oh, yeah, and you and I have had discussions
Yes.
about the same thing, too. I mean,
Yes.
I've already, been there, done that, but that
Yes.
doesn't mean that it's not something that I still wholeheartedly support.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the dream is common enough
Can you make
that there's
something
enough
to eat,
people
please?
that we could get the credit union once we get it up and going.
Membership, can you, $100 really isn't that much. You can break it down into payments. I know a lot, I won't say a lot. Yes, I have the plug. There are people in the community. They're not wealthy. They're pretty low income, but doesn't mean I can't budget $100 in my monthly figure to get something like this going, if it's going to pay me back in the next 25, 30 years, where I can be like an old lady and be like, all right, y'all, sit down and listen to my wisdom. Go farm the land. Here, I'll show you how to slaughter this pig and make it into bacon. Like,
So
yeah, that's end game.
yeah. Well, I'm really excited about it, and I really hope this spreads like wildfire and we continue to spread the word. Beth and Lawrence, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate the time.
Yes.
God is blessed.
God is blessed.
God's bless.
God bless.
All right.
Now that that's out of the way,
What did you think about that? Didn't expect that, did ya?
you're getting tired.
Okay.
Bathe you and get you ready.
So,
Mary,
yes, absolutely. We're really excited about this. Oh, Charles is on.
That's
Okay. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. So we just discussed the Pagan Credit Union. Again, I'll put this out there. The Facebook group is the Proposed Pagan Credit Union. Join there. So
of relationships, people, things.
mm-hmm.
I don't have a whole lot on that because it depends on your personal belief.
Yes. Yeah.
And the other thing was it's a mass cleansing. It's a cleansing of yourself, it's the unbinding ritual, and then it's a mass cleansing of your home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Everything.
I'm done with this. Let it go, get it out. Hoarding your precious metals in a tree
Down by the river.
I was gonna say, is there a van down by the river?
Okay.
Doobies in a van down by the river. My dad used to say that.
So every year on La Befana, which just happened January the 5th, I do a ritual, and I do it online. So if a couple people know about this. We go on, and it's a karma thing.
Oh, what? Ooh.
No, it's just
Stop.
my message is popping up.
Just stop.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
But I call in Hecate or Hecate or Hecate. However you wish to speak it. Okay, so Rowan Temple of Light started our year in a day class yesterday, and we went through some things, and we had a lot of really good discussions.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, a lot of belly laughs. I started snorting really hard there for a minute.
It's always fun. So anyway,
Food, laughter, learning. What did
Yes.
what did I say yesterday? She fed my mind and my belly. I'm a
Yes.
happy witch.
yes, that's how you do it. So let's see, 3 new.
Here, I got it.
It's hard for me to.
Or
Sort
my
of.
phone can just be like, "Hey, you're no longer watching this. Here, go find it again."
Obviously.
At least I know. Where
Okay,
it's at.
so anyway, back to
Sorry.
what I was saying. The La Befana ritual, it does karma. It gives everybody their just desserts, including yourself. So if you're not ready to face your own karma, then you don't do the spell. There is some chance that you can do that I have that goes with that. What was asked of us was how do you give somebody their karma without you getting yours, or not letting it come back to you?
Yeah, without having any repercussions.
Yes.
Karmatically, I think is how they worded it.
Yes.
I feel like if you're letting something go, because she said, I asked later, I was like, physically, spiritually, or magically speaking, and she's like, well, 2 magically inclined people, like, are just gotten divorced or something, and it's like, okay, well, ties. That it just depends on where you want to be. If you want to completely cut ties with this person, be done with them, wash your hands of them, that's one thing. I don't feel like you're going to get any wrong. You're doing what's beneficial for you and probably the other person as well.
Any type. Oh, Zoe.
She's like, are you done?
She put her head on my arm. Says, but removing toxic people from your life is never a bad karmic. If you choose to walk away from somebody, I mean, it's gonna hurt, and you're gonna
but
be all the feels.
That's
but
not karma.
That's just part of life.
That's a lesson.
Yeah, that's
and
a lesson.
It's a lesson for both people. You just have to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
You
can do spells and stuff, but I would, if you're gonna do something and worry about get the karmic back, then bless them. Be that passive aggressive.
Around
you.
So
that bad things happen to you, and I'm all good. Yeah, but eventually, energy and that law of attraction, there's never. I think so. I mean, you can avoid it for so long, but she's still going to come up. And
Bev said we can't call it the Tree Stump Credit Union either.
No. As he said, it's called the Pagan Credit Union.
Daddy, really, that's what your father made you for dinner.
Looks good.
He is not listening. Like, I'm going to eat my husband.
And messages. I caught you off guard again.
Yeah. Akasha said, "Dang, wow," yesterday. I'm not sure what that. It cut off my messages.
Oh no, because she asked if we started, and I told her yes.
Ben says he has a spell for that.
Because we had already. She asked if we had started the year in a day, and I told her yes. And that's because everything was already set up. I had everything already printed out, and there wasn't time to get anything started, and everybody was already set to come. So I needed to get it started, because with everything that I've been through here recently, if I didn't go ahead with, set people that I knew was going to be able to make it locally, then it was never going to happen.
No, I don't want one.
So anyway, moving on.
Ostara.
Ostara is the fertility festival. That's where we have the egg.
It's also the spring equinox. It is
Yes.
March 21st.
Yes.
Hallelujah, spring's coming. Like,
Have you seen the
over winter.
sprouts already started?
I have crocuses coming up. I've got daffodils trying to bloom. Dandelion. Isabel picked me a handful of dandelions this morning. Yeah. You not like it?
Like it.
You're just eating the icing off of it. That's not food. Anyway, we took a walk yesterday, and the birds are starting to pair up, and they've migrated back up here. The robins came back about 3 weeks ago, right as we got that crazy bout of snow or whatever it was. But they've all come back. Got the sun. I don't know if anybody else notices it.
And out doing things, you notice.
Yeah,
the
you
sun.
notice. 7 o'clock. It's starting to get light around 6:30 now. I go to feed horses. It was getting dark about 4:30. Now it doesn't get dark until about 6 o'clock, which is awesome. I can actually go to the park now.
I like that. Beth said, karma is not appropriate in abusive situations. Saying,
hopefully you can come back and watch it later and absorb whatever we've.
As long as she hears the stuff about the pagan credit union.
That was the most important thing.
We wanted to bring that information to the community this time.
Beth talked about eco activism and stuff being pagan. We may have to do that next time because we're going on 50 minutes. But just however long you want to do
the what?
Being kind of an eco warrior.
That's Beth. We might have to bring her back on and talk about it some other time.
We could do another whole thing on this.
Sarah's the activist of the group, and Beth does. That's why I asked her, was it a water situation? Because there's
please don't fly into my.
There is a water situation up in Payton City. And and then there's the pipeline that's going on and everything. So she knows what's going on around one of those. What do we need to know? What do we need to?
What do we need to use our voice for?
Yes,
because your voice is very important. You may not think it, but that's part of being a pagan, is speaking up for injustice. Especially
said
when it comes to nature.
She said the pleated woodpeckers are back. Saw half a dozen today.
I've been feeding suet for a little over a month. I had a flicker in my backyard just hanging out on the ground. I've had pileated. I've back. I saw a cardinal pair yesterday. My mockingbirds are already coming. I have a group of starlings that nest in my backyard every year. They're back. They're already starting their nest. So I was really hoping for another heavy snow and a couple more weeks of winter because we were gonna need it for all these bugs are gonna eat us alive again. But doesn't look like it's happening. It looks like Persephone is like, I'm back.
Back bitches.
Bye. Start coming out, my daughter says.
Hey,
The
if
spring
it-
peepers, I think is what she's talking
Oh
about.
yes, I love the sound
peepers.
of the peepers.
That's when you know spring is here. Zoe, I love you, honey, but I got candles burning. I don't want my floor on fire. Thanks.
So
Go on. Shoot. But we went out yesterday, and I got pulled to this one particular area, and there was a bunch of trash, and I started picking it up. That's another thing. And you see garbage, pick it up. It's different if it's, used needles or drug paraphernalia. You don't want to touch that stuff. It's picked up a couple plastic bags and a pop bottle that was all you could see was the top of it. There was something else I picked up. I can't remember, but I ended up throwing it all away in the garbage. So that's a big
Yes.
thing. If you go to a public place, you need to respect that sacredness of being out in nature.
our mother is down. Please.
Yeah, if you see someone littering, you better be chewing them out. Like I do. If I see someone throwing their crap, I hate when I see people flip cigarettes out there. And birds go along and eat it, and oh, I know, they're the biggest mooches. They're just and what? Littering. See, I taught my 5-year-old well. She hates littering. When we go to the playground, if she sees litter on the ground, if we have a picnic or something, we make sure that we get everything. If the wind comes by and takes off with all of our napkins and stuff, we're chasing them. Like,
Yeah. I don't
yeah,
like it. I don't like things getting away from them.
I mean, if it's food, that's different. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if I see a family of crows, I've got a package of Cheez-Its, I'm gonna dump that sucker out on the side of the road.
Like if food, all animals will eat, or it'll.
They'll take advantage of the
Yeah.
situation. Something will eat it. The ground, the birds, the ants, something will eat it.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay. We can get back on Ostera because we kind of.
okay.
I'm bippity boppity all over the place because my daughter keeps poking me. What was it? I just had it. Fruit. It's not what
I've got notes.
And the answer is yes, they do. That was awful.
Just saying. Just saying.
Oh, that. There. Oh, it's right in front of me.
Okay. Great.
This is not what I want, though. Please stop feeding the dogs your toaster strudel, please.
She said now it's blacked out. It's glitchy and then blacked out. So
We may just end up cutting it.
well, that's why I'm waiting for you to find the story so we can say goodnight.
My phone keeps, instead of putting Ostera in here, it keeps changing it to Oscars.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's the spring equinox.
It's a big fertility festival. It's a time between when Mother Earth is coming back to life again. It's between that and the wedding of the god and the goddess at Beltane.
Yeah, it says if with the arrival of March comes the promise of spring, the month is said to roar in like a lion, and if we're really lucky, roll out like a lamb. My mom always told me that.
Yeah.
Because I remember flying my kites when I was a kid.
I was raised. That's what my mom always said.
Okay.
Bev, I'm back. Don't know how. It just opened up. It's magic, motherfucker.
So on the spring,
That's how Bev.
on the spring equinox, I was reading earlier. I can't find it for some reason. Trying to think who else. Those are the three majors. The Celts didn't really celebrate spring equinox, surprisingly, but they all did something to say, "Hey, spring's here." A lot of it was start my seeds so that they can sprout and I can plant them later this spring. I need to get my fields prepped for and that's if you want to get symbolically about it, that's kind of the same thing. You need to start prepping your ideas and things you want to do later. How quick we're enjoying it, and then it's like, oh crap, fall's here. Those Doritos smell like a beet. No thanks. No thanks. I'm good. Thank you. No, thank you. This is to set up your altar. The green and yellow. You can add white as an accent. I always put white in there. This, I don't know. That's just something that I do. It's also about rebirth. There's a couple different stories about rebirth throughout the different belief systems. It's a good time to meditate as the earth begins to warm back up and wake up. It's time to go sit and ground yourself really heavily. We did that yesterday. We all said it.
It's a great. It's my favorite to hug.
I got pulled off into like this that has no branches and it's surrounded by wisteria or honeysuckle or something, and there's a pair of cardinals and a couple pairs of chickadees and there's a stream.
She's
and I
such
just
an animal person.
I am. I was out there talking to the crows. But I sat there for a good 15 minutes and everybody was like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "I'm good." Came back and I was just like in that headspace, ready to do ritual. It was good, grounded.
Yeah.
Started hearing some voices that I couldn't. They were spirits or what they were, but somebody was telling me to go down there.
Now come out and resurface a little bit.
Yeah, and the Fae and I have played back and forth a lot.
You have a love-hate relationship.
I have a love-hate relationship with the Fae, and it's mostly because I don't understand them enough like I used to, because when you're a kid, you're like, oh, fairies, and now I'm like, don't fuck with the Fae.
This is not the movie Labyrinth here.
That's the goblin.
I know,
goblin. Can I have your pronouns? And this person don't agree to anything. here so we can have a good long discussion about
Yeah.
the day. Anyway,
Okay.
Your house? Probably in your toy box. A good time to and folklore. Long.
I celebrate it by wearing black and white. Ben, this is how we do it in our household. Ben will wear the green and everything because he thought he had Irish back. Black and white. Black to mourn those that were lost, and white for hope that it will continue to get better over the years. That is how I view how my view is on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, for anybody who's ignorant enough to think that St. Patrick actually drove snakes out of Ireland.
It's not the snakes, it's us.
There are no reptiles native to Ireland, so
it was us.
It was pagans, and it was the Christian community that decided, hey, we don't want you here, we're going to kill you and
that's a bad
throw you in
thing.
the water.
Patrick was a pagan.
Yeah, he betrayed his kin.
Yeah, he you know, that's the worst type, the self-hating pagan. So, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Leave me alone so I can talk.
So, did you have anything else?
Eggs. Rabbit magic.
Oh, humping like bunnies. Yeah.
This is a good time for anybody that does magic with gardening. This is probably a really good time for you. Deities. What I'm looking off of is learnreligions.com. It's got all kinds of information for any religion, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Patty is a big writer on there. So those of you that know our keynote speaker from last year, Patty Wingington, that's where I know her from, because it used to be about religion.com and everything.
There it is.
Everything.
Ta-da!
Name change and everything.
Okay, ancient Roman legends. I'm going to butcher these names. I'm sorry. Attis, the consort of Cybele, was born via virgin birth and resurrected in the spring. The Bernabe
Estra.
Eostre.
Yeah.
We'll just say Estra because Gwen probably knows more than I do. Was the Saxon version of the Germanic goddess called Ostera. Many more over that. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the Persian kings had their festival called Nowruz, which meant New Day. It was a celebration of hope and renewal. The Iranian before Nowruz begins, and that's cool. Like jumping over fire to purify. That's interesting.
I've done that. Have you ever jumped over fire?
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is very purifying.
I used to scream, "Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, don't catch my ass on fire." The Mayans celebrated it in Central America. They've been celebrating it for 10 centuries. As the sun sets on the day of the equinox, the great ceremonial period El Castillo. Its western face is bathed in the late afternoon sun. The lengthening shadows appear to run from the top of the pyramid's northern staircase to the bottom, giving the illusion of a diamond-backed snake in descent. And if you've never seen that, go on Google or YouTube. It's really freaking cool. It's got, I'm going to butcher his name, Oxyotl, the snake god, slithering down the pyramid. And his head is at the bottom of the pyramid, and it does when the sun hits it, it he looks like he's slithering. It's really freaking
Oh,
cool.
cool. I have to find that link and share it.
Yeah. It's been called The Return of the Sun Serpent. History.com. That's way too much. Way too much to read.
What are you doing?
Okay. The popular found a bird wounded on the ground late in winter. To save its life, she transformed it into a hare, but the transformation was not a complete one. The bird took the appearance of a hare, but retained the ability to lay eggs. The hare would decorate these eggs and then give them as gifts. That's where you get the Easter Bunny, in case the Christians didn't make it confusing as hell.
It's not candy.
It's not candy.
It's not candy.
Yeah, I wonder where, like, the candy must have just been, like,
It's
Hallmark.
just like with everything else, they had to add candy to it, you know. Which chocolate is amazing and is a very good magical source, but still.
You grow an herb garden, blah, 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 just same thing, get ready. Take walks in the park, lay in the grass, hike. Observe all the new beginnings of things, flowers, birds, insects. Meditate on the ever-moving wheel of the year. Celebrate the change of the seasons. And that's it. Hallelujah, because I'm done reading. I think we've gone over everything.
Yeah.
I think we've
hit every...
We're down. Yeah, we're down to 2 people watching. So
yeah, and we're over an hour, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Okay, so we found something out.
Yes. Yeah. Yesterday during Year in a Day, it's in the Wiccan Read, and I'm not Wiccan, but I do follow a lot of that because when I first began the craft, I started out learning Wiccan. It was Wicca, and that was like, hey, here it is. It's available.
Of conduct to follow. Yes. So since Sarah is doing these on the new moon, there is a part in there.
You'll get it if you want to read it verbatim.
No,
because
okay.
I can't remember it.
It's okay. If they want to know, they can read it. Look it up. Aww.
I love you too, Goose.
So it is called the Twofold?
No. Something about the lady in the moon, kiss her twice on the hand or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember. That's why I said I can go get it if you want to read it verbatim because it's sitting on my bed.
Okay.
Or we can just Professor Google. Might hear my child screaming here in a second.
I'll pull it out here in a minute. Waning moon. Okay, when the lady's moon is new, kiss the hand to her ×2. Says it's custom in days gone before to send kisses to the new moon. Must have been a very widespread as references to the Inquisition warning witchcraft. So, on that aspect, mwah, mwah, blessed